If you want to see the Wild West in Texas, ride off into the sunset from Monaghan's Sandhills State Park, and before too long, you'll see mountains towering in the distance. They slowly grow as you approach, and you realize you're at a national park. What was I supposed to do? Not stop? And not attempt to summit? Might as well show where we are. Well, I'm about 1.5 miles up, and this is it for me. I don't have time, I gotta turn back around. So in terms of climbing the mountain, this is not everything. But you know what? It's not nothing either. Well, dagnabbit, now I'm behind the 8-ball again. I still need to hike and paint another incredible state park. Hi, I'm Jay, and this is Hueco Tanks State Park. Be aware, your first stop at Hueco Tanks will be the Visitor Center, where you'll be briefed on how to respectfully explore. They've done a great job because this place is such a climbing mecca. Prior to tighter controls, there used to be climbers everywhere and raging keggers out in the middle of the weekend, and naturally, destruction of both the landscape and historic rock paintings denoting the spot as a sacred site for indigenous peoples. It's a tough thing finding that balance between recreation and preservation. Speaking of tough things, finding Cave Kiva. I wanted to see some of the paintings, so I struck out, despite the shadows lengthening. The area takes its name from these pools in the rock hollows. Hueco means hollow in Spanish. It feels like what I would imagine walking on the moon might be like. Oh gosh. Beautiful. But I'm running out of daylight. I brought my painting stuff because I planned to paint the cave with the little light that remained in the day. Even though I climbed into some cracks, I just couldn't find it. That right there, that's the sunset. And I'm up here in the Huecos, tanking it hard. I could not find Cave Kiva. I think it's back that way, the way I came from. And that means I'm running out of time to find it, running out of time to paint. I'm loving it though, exploring around these hills. It's great. That was a neat little scramble to get down. Delightful. Mistakes were made today. But there's no mistaking that sunset is glorious. I love it. The sky was aflame with color from the sunset, and this might look like a truly wild scene, but these are awdads, native to Africa and introduced here in the mid-20th century. So I skip the animals and I focus on color. I know it's going to be tough. The light is really fading after that glorious sunset. I'm going to try to get an idea of the pink rocks here that are darker, the fainter pink rocks beyond, and hopefully lock it in really quickly because we have about 40 minutes of light and then it'll be totally dark. My favorite part of this 8-second clip is watching everything perceptibly darken as I go. The question here is what to do with that mess. There's something there, and even if I call that an underpainting, it's probably worth returning to. I gotta change the composition a little bit. I gotta move these over, shrink these down. But it's something, and that's more than I can say for the pictographs that I've seen, because that was nothing. There are 20 campsites in Hueco Tanks, but I didn't reserve one, so I headed further west under the full moon, scheming about how I would finish the painting. Looking at this after some time, I'm struggling to find my footing. And I think I'm going to radically redesign. One thing that I'm going to do for sure, I'm going to bring back this pictograph. And to do all that, I'm going to bring in some different colors. I'm going to bring in quinacridone magenta. And I'm going to use this warm white in addition to a zinc white. If you've watched this video in its entirety, you will by now fully realize that I am blatantly lying to you, the viewer. The scene didn't look anything like this when I was there. But here's the key. It felt a little bit like this. And one of my favorite things about painting is that it is often necessary to lie in order to tell a better truth. A photo would give you some description of the landscape, but I want to point out to you something that caught my eye, something that made me feel, and make you see it and feel it like I did. I kind of have to push things around a little bit. It may not be unflinching honesty, but it's a beautiful lie. I've reinvented a lot of the painting, but this color is original and I really like it. I want to keep it, all this stuff right here. And I don't have black or brown on my palette, so I figured the only way I got it was using Terra Rosa, which I think I used up that tube. I'm going to use transparent oxide red, which is a brown red, and it should help me with alizarin to get a similar color. Well, I'd say we're almost done, except this area right here still feels a lot like a parking lot, because it was a parking lot. However, I think if I make another pictograph right about here, that should balance things out real nice. With these West Texas parks so far apart, it feels like I'm having to sprint through everything to fit it all in. I hope it doesn't catch up with me. Spoiler, it's going to. See you next time.